Take 3. Hey there, everybody. Bubba here. Might not be able to be there in person this time, but that doesn't mean I can't still do my job. Now I'm just going to start the way I always do. Oh, and if it looks like I'm looking down at text on a screen occasionally, that's because I am, and you're just going to have to learn how to live with that. Okay. Everyone who's never done a pre-release before, raise your hand. Gonna assume at least one of you did, so I'm gonna do the full rundown. This is your pre-release kit. I'm recording this in advance, so you're just gonna have to imagine it's the right set. In this box, you'll find 6 play boosters of Outlaws of Thunder Junction, 1 spin down life counter, and a foil stamped pre-release promo that could be any rare or mythic from the set. When I say go, you'll have 50 minutes for deck construction and sleeving. We provide basic lands, but you have to give them back. I am looking at you green players specifically. I don't know why it's always you. Unlike normal deck construction, your deck has a 40 card minimum, and everything in your sealed pool that you don't use in your deck is in your sideboard. You can sideboard any time except in the middle of a game, because that would be too silly. Standard deck construction limits you to 4 copies of a card, but you can use as many as are in your card pool. When deck construction is finished, we'll tell you where to sit and we'll tell you who to play against. These matches will be best of 3 and timed for 50-minute rounds. If you are still playing when the clock runs out, you will go to turns. Whoever is the active player, when this announcement is made, will finish out their turn. There will be an additional 5 turns to try and resolve the game. If neither player has won by the end of turn 5, that game is a draw. It is possible for a game to end in a draw, while that match still has a winner. For example, if player A has won 1 game, player B has won no games, and the second game ended in a draw, player A has won the match. We'll play for 3 timed rounds, and for every match that you win, that's match, not game, you'll receive a play booster of the new set. Additional play boosters will be awarded to the top 25-ish% of players. Now that we've covered deck construction and tournament structure, let's move on to the new mechanics. First off, committing a crime. You commit a crime as you cast a spell, activate an ability, or put a triggered ability on the stack that targets one or more of the following: an opponent, a spell or ability an opponent controls, a permanent an opponent controls, a card in an opponent's graveyard, but if the spell doesn't target anything on that list, it's not a crime, even if it targets something like an opponent's card in exile, or has a sinister sounding name that would be a felony in many jurisdictions. Once you cast the spell, activate the ability, or put the triggered ability on the stack, the crime has been committed. It doesn't matter what happens to the spell or ability, or any of its targets after that point. Outlaws. Outlaws are a group of creature types. An outlaw is any creature who has the mercenary, rogue, assassin, pirate, and or warlock creature types. Spree! Spree is a keyword that you'll see on some spells in this set which have different modal choices. All cards with Spree have a base cost and then additional costs for different modes. You must pick at least one mode in order to cast the spell, and you can't pick the same mode twice. Or more. That's shenanigans. Plot. So plot works very much like foretell. It's also a very funny word. Plot, plot, plot. To plot a card, you pay its plot cost and exile it face up. You may then cast it as a sorcery on a later turn. Plotting is a special action that doesn't use the stack and can't be responded to. Mount/saddle. Mount and saddle work very much like vehicle and crew. The biggest difference is that mount is a new creature type, which means that a mount is a creature even when it isn't saddled. But there are bonuses associated with them being saddled. So those are the new mechanics. Does anyone have any questions, or did I miss anything? And no, mayonnaise is not an instrument. This is the point in the video where an employee should hit pause so that people can actually ask questions. We now resume your regularly scheduled pre-release. All right. On your marks. Get set. I really hope that the clock is ready because it is time to go. Have fun, everybody. Miss y'all.